I don't necessarily know what really to talk about today. It's just been a weird day. The NBA is slowly about to start back up, you know, with the official start date as July 30th, but there's gonna be some scrimmages coming up this week. My mustache is doing that little thing. I don't like that. But then it's just crazy how the Knicks constantly stay in headlines. Like, it's not even us doing it at this point. I'm going on Bleacher Report and I'm seeing that this video was dropped of LaMelo Ball in a Knicks uniform. I like it, but why? Then I'm also seeing our good friend Howard Beck putting up a whole piece about James Dolan that, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about, but I feel like we're going to have to talk about briefly in this video. There's all kinds of reports talking about Leon Rose having a lot of belief in his old client, Frank Ntilikina. So Frank Ntilikina is getting some buzz again in the Knicks verse as usual, as he should be. You know, I'm a Frank stan over here myself. And last but not least, the NBA is trying to do whatever they can to not let Mitchell Robinson have his record. For those who may not know, Mitchell Robinson is now apparently a few games away from making history and having the greatest field goal percentage in the history of the NBA. And the league is not letting him have it without having to mix things up. And then with that being said, that I have so many questions about the draft. I don't know, man. It's crazy times right now. Let's get into this video. What's going on, CK Cruise Boy, CK2K here. Welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to like this video. If you haven't already, I know you guys have been asking for it, but part 1 of the CK My GM experience has officially been up. The first video came out yesterday, and you guys have been giving a lot of dope responses to that. That video was a lot of fun to make. Already working on part 2 as we speak. But yeah, so appreciate you guys for all the support on that one. But like I said in the intro, there's a lot of odd things that are going on right now in the world of the New York Knicks, and I feel like I guess I have to talk about them. And I say it that way because it's just like I don't understand why these are conversations that are being had. I try to keep myself out of the senseless conversations, but man, oh man, when I'm seeing things like I'm seeing, I have to say my 2 cents on it. First of all, I want to say I'm really loving the reports from Leon Rose talking about he has belief in Frank Ntilikina still and is looking forward to moving forward with, you know, having him be a part of this team. The New York Knicks account even posted a few pictures, of Frank Ntilikina with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett himself posted a picture of him and Frank. So there's a lot of love there with the two guys, the two players that a lot are pretty much fan favorites of the team right now. So that's good to see. You know, at least we know that things are safe with them. I still truly believe, even though I am a very big speaker of hopefully getting LaMelo Ball, I do believe Frank Ntilikina's spot on this team is still very valuable and still very necessary for what we want moving forward with the team. So to hear Leon Rose say that, I like it. I also want to talk about Mitchell Robinson possibly having the greatest field goal percentage in the history of the NBA to only beat the one and only Wilt Chamberlain. Yes, our Mitchell Robinson is out here about to make history this year if the NBA don't try to take it away from him. Leading up to when the league was put on hold earlier in March, Mitchell Robinson was leading the league in field goal percentage by a lot, to the point where he was ahead of literally everybody in the history of the game. Even the original record holder, Wilt Chamberlain, who shot a record of 72% from the field, Mitchell Robinson was shooting 74% from the field. And as of right now, it's looking like that record is officially going to go to Mitch, unless Rudy Gobert does something about it. Yes, they're saying that these games in the bubble, at least the 8 games before the playoffs, those stats count towards the regular season statistics, which to me makes 0 sense. Does that mean now that the winning records and losing records count towards their draft stock too? Like, does that help us out? Like, I don't know. If the Wizards go on a little bit of winning streak, does that help the Knicks? I don't understand how that works. Or if the Wizards go and lose all their games and then all of a sudden have a worse record than the Knicks. Like, I don't understand it from that aspect, even though I know statistically it is working in their favor. So for my educated folks in the chat, please enlighten me, because I'm having a hard time understanding that. But back to Mitchell Robinson. Like I said, he was averaging 74% from the field, and it's looking like he's going to run away with that record. And the only person that could really catch him is Rudy Gobert, who's shooting 69.8% right now. And I think he has to make something crazy like 89 or 85 straight shots in order to past Mitch's record. So it seems like it's pretty safe, but the fact that it's not, because it's still a possibility of it happening, because Rudy Gobert's not a shooter. I mean, he is working in the 3-point game into his game right now, but Rudy Gobert is a guy that finishes around the rim, and he can go and do something close to that. So who knows in those 8 games what happens, but I do really believe that it is safe for Mitchell Robinson. But the fact that it's just available for somebody else to take it is just so annoying. Speaking of Mitchell Robinson has been releasing all kinds of tapes and all kinds of videos online throughout this entire quarantine, making a lot of Knicks fans excited about the next season. You guys know how I feel about workout tapes. I'm not a fan of them. You know how many workout videos I've seen of Ben Simmons making 3-point jumpers, making step back shooters, step back shots, making all kinds of crazy, ridiculous shots that I've yet to ever see him shoot in a real game. So it's really hard for me to jump on board the excitement, but at the same time, seeing him do it in a setting of like a 5-on-5 and playing, you know, full court, it is nice to see. It is really cool to see. But again, anybody looks really good when you're the only NBA player amongst a group of your peers. So I don't really know how much to take it, but I am excited and hoping that this is something that is going to be integrated into this game. Not saying I want him to go out there and be a ball handler at all times. No. If there's ever situations where he has the ball and has somebody smaller on him or somebody that he can easily match up against, I would love to see Mitchell Robinson show some offensive moves, because right now he seems like he's, you know, pretty much the same thing: block, rebound, and something around the rim. And I'm not going to be opposed to him adding anything to his offensive game. I think it only helps and hurts. But let me know all your thoughts in the comments below about that. And last but not least, I do want to talk about this whole James Dolan situation. So Howard Beck dropped a whole article on the fact that every NBA team in the league has come out and said something around the Black Lives Matter campaign and has spoken out and been very vocal on their thoughts and beliefs around that. But James Dolan and the Knicks are the only team to not really speak out or do anything on the situation. And initially, I was a little upset about this matter, and I was, thinking that it's just so simple for James Dolan to come out and say something, so you could at least save face on that front, because anytime the Knicks do anything against the grain that's negative, the reporters and everything go after the New York Knicks. So I was against it at that point, but at the same time, it's crazy for me to say, but I'm taking James Dolan's side on this argument. There's been so many things that have gone on from the moment this movement has started in our nation that have gone on behind the scenes with the New York Knicks. Now, mind you, I do believe at some extent maybe the Knicks could have promoted the stuff that went on. Like Taj Gibson had a whole drive that he was doing, Allen Houston, James Dolan himself. There's a lot of things that had happened behind the scenes, but the Knicks just weren't out there parading what was going on. And I think because of that reason, Howard Beck is writing pieces like this, because we're not like the other teams that are parading the things that's going on. So I'm like on both sides of the fence. Is James Dolan really being ridiculed because he's not parading what he's doing out there for the media? I mean, should you really be applauded for doing something out of the kindness of your heart? I don't know. It's a really double-edged sword for me. Like, I do understand the thought process. I understand where he's trying to come from, but in that same breath, for James Dolan to do these things and for the Knicks to not have to push him out. I mean, they were available. You were seeing pictures. The social medias were talking about them very briefly, but they were being talked about. All these drives from Taj Gibson to Allen Houston. The fact that because it wasn't made publicly enough for Bleacher Report and for the mainstream media to make any stories about, even though it was, in my opinion, it was public enough, it doesn't count. And it's something as James Dolan just doesn't care about the situation. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this one. I hope that makes sense. I just don't believe that it is something that I feel like it's being taken out of context, and it's such a poor representation of the team in an attempt to try to attack us through the media, as it's just so easy to do, and it's just so common to see other people in the media do for the New York Knicks. It's nothing new. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Howard Beck is right in attacking James Dolan for not being more vocal on speaking out about the Black Lives Matter movement, or do you guys understand where I'm coming from the point where people within the Knicks organization have been doing things, and they have been doing it, but they've been doing it in their own speed and at their own pace, rather than having to do it so it could look good for the media and look good for the public eye? Let me know your guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. If you guys really want to go read the entire article, it's not much. I'd much rather you go check out JB's article over on SNY, because I think that one puts this in a way better perspective because it talks about the things that actually were going on when this whole Black Lives Movement resurfaced after the unfortunate killing of George Floyd. But enough of all that. It's just mind-boggling to me how every little thing is something to be talked about negatively when it comes to the New York Knicks, and it just never fails. But on that note, back to the positive, because it's time for the comments of the video. Alright, so I got this one right here, and I love seeing these comments in the videos because people don't understand what they're watching. So Earl Garrett says, intro way too long, but your show is always fire. Earl, I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. But bro, that is a live stream VOD. That is the video from the live stream. It is a live stream. Normally in my streams, I do music in the beginning to warm everybody up, to wait till everybody gets into the stream before we start the stream. That's just how live streams go. It's not like an actual edited video that you're watching. So I apologize, but I get that comment way too frequently, and they be like, oh man, the intro's too long. That is how the stream works. I apologize, but that's just how streams work. So yeah. Mike Jones saying, or yeah, I'm assuming it's Mike Jones, but Mike Jones saying, I believe Leon Rose wants to get a better understanding of how the other front offices see our current roster. Understanding different philosophies. Maybe I don't know how I really necessarily feel about that. I think Leon Rose has a plan, and he's been going about his plan very openly as of right now. I don't think he's sitting back and watching how other people run their teams, but I mean, that's your opinion. Arsanti Bird saying, give me LaMelo or Killian Hayes. We good either way. RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson is the two main pieces. We add either one of those two and the future is bright. Although yes, I'm growing more and more. I've said this for months now. I'm growing more and more hopeful of a Killian Hayes pickup if we aren't able to get LaMelo Ball. I do not think that they are in the same ballpark. I think LaMelo Ball brings a lot more than Killian Hayes will. Obviously, Killian Hayes has the jump shot, so people are more attracted to that. But I think the overall game coming from LaMelo Ball would be more of a game changer for our New York Knicks team. But to your initial statement, yes, I would love to have either one of those players because RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson are the ones that we should be focused the most on. But if we get LaMelo Ball, I'm instantly moving him up there with the RJ Barretts and Mitchell Robinson when it comes to who we're moving forward with this team. Those are my thoughts on that. But anyways, that's enough for me in this video. It's been an all over the place video, but there's a bunch of random Knicks news, and I would love to hear you guys' opinions on everything talked about today, from the James Dolan criticisms from Howard Beck to Mitchell Robinson possibly not getting the record over Will Chamberlain. I want to know all of your thoughts about those in the comments below, and also let me know in the comments what you want to hear me talk about in the next video. Don't worry, part 2 of the CK My GM series is on its way, as well as another Knicks Reddit video. Y'all love those Reddit videos, so expect that on its way. But it's been your boy CK. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Let's get it. I see y'all. Peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes.